What's going on, my Century Units? It's the Sentiment here, so back again with another classic WrestleMania pay-per-view review. This time we're traveling back into the Attitude Era to review WrestleMania 15, the Raging Climax. I don't know who came up with the whole idea for this WrestleMania tagline, the Raging Climax. I don't want to talk about this tagline in this video. So anyway, this show was at the First Union Center. Right now it's called the Wells Fargo Center in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, or Philly for short, on the 28th of March, 1999. The attendance of the show was 20,276. WrestleMania 15 drew about 800,000 pay-per-view buys. That's in North America. Don't know what the worldwide buy rate for this WrestleMania, but I'll take 800,000 buys. Anyway, the commentators for WrestleMania 15, we've got Michael Cole and Jerry the King Lawler. This WrestleMania is memorable for the first of three WrestleMania trilogy matches between Stone Cold Steve Austin and The Rock. You got the self-proclaimed climax to this brawl for all. I'll get to that pretty damn soon. The forgotten Hell in a Cell match, and two matches with a booking switcheroo. I'll get to that shortly. So, and also, this is the first WrestleMania held in Philadelphia. And the next time they do a WrestleMania in Philadelphia will be this year in our current timeline in 2024 for WrestleMania 40. I'll review that WrestleMania pretty damn soon. So, let's do the quick result on Heat. So, Heat, you had Jacqueline with Terry in the corner defeat Ivory with D'Lo Brown in her corner. And you got D'Lo Brown and Taz won a Battle Royal to face Jeff Jarrett and Owen Hart for the tag team titles later in the main show for WrestleMania 15. Anyway, so let's begin the opener. So the opener, we got a triple threat match for the WWF Hardcore Championship. It's the first time that the Hardcore title is defended at a WrestleMania, because the Hardcore title was debuted the end of the previous year in 1998. That was warded by Mankind. This was because at the time Mankind was groomed by Vince to be the next face of the company. Unfortunately, that was a rouge. So the title has a life of its own, and it was really a fun title. It's not in that 27 rules yet. That will be, I think it's around the following year, in the year 2000, but not right now in 1999. So anyway, Billy Gunn is the Hardcore champion. He won the belt a week and a half ago, and when I say there's booking switcheroo, this is the switcheroo, because the original plan, because Billy Gunn was not supposed to be in this Hardcore division. He was locked into the Intercontinental title picture. But instead they kind of switched the rule. They kind of switched around the booking. Instead of Billy Gunn challenging for the Intercontinental Championship, he is in the Hardcore title picture, and Road Dogg's in the IC title picture. So I don't know why they tend to do that. We're not going to find out the truth. It's just what it is. This triple threat match, it was okay, just okay. I thought it was it had some weapons shots, but besides that, man, it was basically sizzle but no steak. I think one more of the match, Billy hit Al Snow and Hardcore Holly. One of them with the hockey stick. And there were the fans chanting "Let's go Flyers." I think this arena, the First Union Center, is home of the Philadelphia Flyers. Oh, by the way, Al Snow and Hardcore Holly are still feuding because the Job Squad exploded. They fought at the previous month's pay-per-view, St. Valentine's Day Massacre. Forgot to review that show. My bad. But anyway, in the end, Billy Gunn hit the famous, I think it was on Al Snow, and then Hardcore Holly hit Billy Gunn on the head with the chair to win this match and regained the Hardcore title. I think this is his first pay-per-view match as Hardcore Holly, and then because the previous pay-per-view at St. Valentine's Day's Massacre, he's just wrestled by his real name, Bob Holly, but all of a sudden, ever since he fought Al Snow at St. Valentine's Day Massacre, he's now became Hardcore Holly. He carried ever since for the rest of his only run in the company. I think he kind of used that in other wrestling companies after his run in WWE. But that's I don't want to talk about it. So anyway, it was an okay match. I feel like it's not really a WrestleMania worthy match, but it's a match probably see on Raw. Like this match really suffered because of that switcheroo booking. Road Dogg is in the Intercontinental title picture. Billy Gunn's in the Hardcore title picture. Billy Gunn said in interviews years later that he's basically a fish out of water. He said like he doesn't want to become a hardcore wrestler. It's not his thing. Yeah, I understand why. But I don't think it was a bad match. It was just like sizzle, no steak, okay. He had some weapon spots. I think like Al Snow went through a table. That's it. But besides that, this hardcore title match was okay, but I think it was the wrong match to open up a WrestleMania. So let's move on to the next match. This is for the WWF Tag Team Championships. Owen Hart and Jeff Jarrett with Deborah in their corner, defending the belt against D'Lo Brown and Tess, with Ivory in the corner of D'Lo and Tess. Tess is just filling for Mark Henry because he injured his knee. He got taken out by the hands of Owen Hart and Jeff Jarrett. It was just like thrown together, this tag team between D'Lo Brown and Tess, because Tess was part of the corporation. And, it's just like, why they tend to do that, It's just, I don't want to get into it, but, by the way, they won a Battle Royal on Heat before the show to get the shot at the tag team titles, and now, you had, Owen and Jarrett, being down D'Lo and Tess on Heat before before the match on the main show. And also, like I said, Ivory lost to Jacqueline, and on that same match on Heat, she was wearing a bandage around her cheek because she got burned by Terry's cigar. Because at the time, because Jacqueline and Terry was part of the Pretty Mean Sisters. Look it up. Anyway, so the match between Owen, Jarrett, D'Lo, and Tess. Okay match. Just okay. It was an okay match. I wish they had more time. Jacqueline, wow. Not Jacqueline. My apologies. With Deborah, man, wow. She is pretty damn stunning hot back in 1999. She came out wearing a bikini. That like give Jerry King Lawler heart palpitations, because he likes women with big tits, half naked women. It's the thing at the time. Anyway, in the end, you had you had Deborah trying to interfere. Ivory stopped her. Instead of like a cat fight, they kind of argue, and then in the end, it was a really good combo. It was basically Owen hit like a drop kick onto D'Lo Brown, and Jarrett rolled up D'Lo for the win. And then afterwards, you got the Premium Sisters, Terry and Jacqueline, and then Ivory is having to go with Test. yeah, this was a mess. And afterwards, Tess and D'Lo brawl. Yeah, this is just. It was not to say a bad match. It was just an okay match. I feel like the opener and the tag team title match was really like a match you probably see on a Monday Night Raw or a B-rated pay-per-view, like a non-Big Five pay-per-view. Not on your biggest shows of the year. You're spending a lot of money at the time. And it got me thinking, holy shit, this is a bit of a tearjerker because we're in 2 months' time. Holy shit, we're not going to see Owen ever again. And it got me thinking. I think I will do a remake or re-review of Over the Limit 1999. That'll be in May of next month, so stay tuned for that. Anyway, so let's move on to the next match. And I don't really call it a match. This is more like an angle disguise of a match. We got Bart Gunn, the winner of the Brawl for All. I say this is the self-proclaimed climax of this Brawl for All. And it is the climax of this Brawl for All. So the Brawl for All winner, Bart Gunn, taking on Butterbean, aka that is Eric Ish. So yeah, the Brawl for All started last year. It's trying to capitalize on the rise, not the rise of the UFC, but the popularity of boxing because of Mike Tyson. I don't recall it at the time the rise of the UFC. The UFC was there, but it wasn't. It was a baby back then. Right now it's global, it's mainstream. Back then it was just a little niche. Anyway, because wrestling was in the mainstream, MMA is not, so it's just what it is. So anyway, so they're doing this whole thing called the Brawl for All. It's basically wrestlers, doing a glorified. It was basically a boxing match, with takedowns, And it was a waste of time, a lot of money. I think that was put together by Vince Russo, because at the time Russo was the booker of the World Wrestling Federation. Bart Gunn won this match, Originally it was supposed to be Dr. Death Steve Williams it was the original idea to have him win the Brawl for All, because they're trying to put the eggs in the Dr. Death Steve Williams basket, they have the original plan. So they're supposed to have Dr. Death Steve Williams win the Brawl for All and probably doing this big program with Stone Cold Steve Austin, but plans change. Steve Williams got knocked out by Bart Gunn, and then they kind of changed plans, and also Dr. Death got injured in that Brawl for All in the process. So Billy Gunn went on to win the Brawl for All. It's the one and only time they did the Brawl for All, and they brought in Butterbean. This is Butterbean's first appearance in a pro wrestling thing since his feud with Mark Merrow in 1997. I think this was more of a punishment because because Bart Gunn injured Steve Williams. This match is, I don't really call it a match, like I said. It's just basically a match disguise, basically an angle disguise of a match. Butterbean knocked the fuck out of Bart Gunn in 35 seconds, and that was it. I think that was in the first round. Holy shit. And this was the end of Bart Gunn's time in the World Wrestling Federation, because at the time he was not really doing anything, because ever since they scrapped the whole NWA invasion, he was part of this tag team with Bob Holly, the new Midnight Express, after that was Can. He was not really doing anything, and then he was part of the Brawl for All, won the Brawl for All, and then his award, he didn't really got pushed, that was the punishment. He got knocked the fuck out by the legit fighter of Butterbean. I think he was the MMA fighter, kickboxer, a normal boxer. He's not a wrestler, You never seen Butterbean doing anything wrestling related. He got a bit involved in wrestling. He was part of the Hulk Hogan's Championship Wrestling thing a decade later. But the stuff with Mark Merrow, and then knocking out Bart Gunn at WrestleMania 15. But he was just kind of there. I bet Butterbean, got good money after this. knocking out Bart Gunn. Yeah, this was Bart Gunn's final appearance in the company until 2007, and he never haven't appeared ever since. So let's move on to the next match. So the next match, this is a 1-on-1 match. Winner becomes the special guest referee in the Rock Stone Cold main event. Mankind taking on the Big Show. This is Big Show's first of many WrestleManias for the next 20 years. Anyway, so Big Show, Paul White, made his debut in the World Wrestling Federation in St. Valentine's Day Massacre. In the main event, it was a steel cage match between Stone Cold Steve Austin and Mr. McMahon. You had Paul White accidentally helped Austin win that match to get his shot at The Rock at WrestleMania. And they poorly booked the Big Show, or Paul White. He was called Paul White at the time, using his real name at the time, and then he became the Big Show, and the rest is history. His first match in the company was against Stone Cold Steve Austin on Raw, and he lost. So yeah, he was kind of like a big disappointment, attacking the wrong guys. So yeah, this match. By the way, he helped Rock regain the World Wrestling Federation title against Mankind in a ladder match. Chokeslammed him. So yeah, this match, not good. Just not good, man. No chemistry between Paul White and Mick Foley. And yeah, it's just basically, it was just, I think like Big Show had mostly the offense. And Mick Foley don't have any offense. He took some big bumps, not big bumps, just some bumps, I'm trying to keep it short and simple. It is very forgettable. You had Big Show hitting Mankind with the chair inside the ring, in the back, and not inside the ring, outside the ring. My apologies. Outside the ring, in the back, and the chair shot to the head. In the end, the match ended disqualification. You had Big Show choke slamming Mankind in 2 chairs, and that was it. So yeah, out comes Vince McMahon. He came out chewing up the Big Show. He showed he counted him to becoming the special guest referee to basically stack the odds against Austin. He showed I'm Vince McMahon, you're just a nobody or loser. He kind of chew him up. He's like, I don't get down about him. You had one moment like Big Show trying to chokeslam Vince, and then Vince slapped him. Yeah, and Big Show, Paul White, knocked Vince the fuck out. This is the first of many times he'll knock people out. And yeah, they really did. I think they did Paul White no favors in his run, his 20+ year run with the company. Yeah, currently he's now in AEW, but yeah, it's just they don't know what they do with the Big Show. One moment he's this freak of nature, this dominant giant, and then next thing he's the big friendly giant. It didn't do anything favors in his 2 runs in the company. His first run was about 99 to 2006, and his second run, 2008 to 2020, 2021? I'm not too sure. I think it was 2021. So basically a 22-year spell for the Big Show, and they booked him poorly. Keep face and heel turn on him. So anyway, so yeah, this segment later on, how Big Show got arrested. Yeah, it's just and Mick Foley, was carried out. He fought, since Mankind won the match via disqualification, now he's the special guest referee for the Rock Stone Cold match. He's going to call it down the middle, but I'll get to more of that when I get to the main event. So yeah, this match just sucked. Feel like a match on Raw, and that was it. It's funny. You don't see Mankind versus Rock multiple times. There's no chemistry. They fought in that 4-way match at the next year's WrestleMania. But besides that, it was very rarely seeing Big Show fighting Mick Foley. But yeah, let's move on to the next match. Yeah, I think the segment with Big Show attack Vince, that's more entertaining than the actual match itself. Anyway, let's move on to the next match. So the next match, we got a 4 corners elimination match for the Intercontinental Championship. Road Dogg Jesse James defending the belt against Goldust, the Blue Meanie with Ryan Shamrock. Not Blue Meanie. Yeah, Goldust with the Blue Meanie and Ryan Shamrock in his corner. I read on Wikipedia and Foul Phoenix. So I'm gonna read it. I'm gonna read it again. By the way, man, I'm getting my words up. So yeah, Road Dogg defending the Intercontinental Championship against Goldust with Blue Meanie, and Ryan Shamrock in his corner. The world's most dangerous man, Ken Shamrock, and Foul Phoenix. So you know the story. You know, this is a booking switcheroo. You know, it was supposed to be Road Dogg in the hardcore title picture, Billy Gunn in the Intercontinental title picture, and then they kind of did the switcheroo. You know, the Outlaws won the hardcore and IC title weeks prior to this. I think it's a week prior to this. And yeah, told against the story. You know, this storyline revolved around the stuff with Ryan Shamrock and Ken Shamrock and Goldust and Foul Phoenix. This revolves around Ryan Shamrock. Ryan Shamrock is the kayfabe sister of Ken Shamrock. Her real name is Alicia Webb. Or was it Alice Webb or Alicia Webb? I think she was dating Ken Shamrock at the time. And fun fact, you know, Ryan Shamrock is Ken Shamrock's son. You know, I've done my research on it. And also I've done more research. The original plan for Foul Phoenix having Jenna Jameson to be escorting Foul Phoenix in the corner leading up to his match on the show, and for whatever reason that idea was dropped because they thought Jenna Jameson was not pretty enough. Because because that's really a match of Foul Phoenix's gimmick at the time, because Foul Phoenix was a porn star, and Jenna Jameson is the biggest star in the porn industry, so that kind of probably a matching fit. But yeah, they kind of changed plans for that. I forgot to mention this. You know, I done my research before I watch and trying to review this show. Anyway, the 4 corners elimination match. Okay, it's best. You know, it's in a tag team format. You know, I'm kind of like having head scratching moment of this. Why they tend to do that? You know, this is like all for the belt. It's like all man for itself. This is not a tag team match, but it was an okay match. You know, I'm trying to, you know, people had their moments. You know, one more of the match. You know, you had Foul Phoenix accidentally dropped on Goldust's balls, and you had that Blue Meanie go woo. By the way, you know, they were feuding at the time, Goldust and Blue Meanie, and then all of a sudden, you know, they're now teaming up together. Yeah, this has revolved around Ryan Shamrock. You know, yeah, Foul Phoenix did like a porno in the build-up in the storyline called Saving Ryan's Privates. You know, it's a spin of Saving Private Ryan, that film with Tom Hanks. Anyway, so you know, everyone got their moments in it. Like in the end, you know, I thought like Foul Phoenix trying to done a baseball sliding dropkick towards Ken Shamrock, and Ken kind of accidentally fall onto Ryan Shamrock, but unfortunately that's not the case. Foul Phoenix and Ken Shamrock, you know, they end up brawling. Unfortunately, they got themselves counted out. You know, it was a new concept at the time. You know, they did it like 2 years prior. You know, Undertaker, Bret, Austin, Vader. But yeah, it was a new concept. You know, it's like things change. You know, 25 years right now compared in the 90s. You know, it's a different new match type. You know, the tag team thing kind of helped. You know, if they tend to do that, that'd be a clusterfuck. I don't know if it's going to be a clusterfuck, but anyway, so everyone had their moments. You know, Shamrock, you know, Shamrock, you know, is locking in the ankle lock onto Foul Phoenix. He reached the ropes. You know, I think the referee was Jimmy Cordes or Team White. You know, vice versa. You know, Shamrock said, "Get the hell off of me." Hey, you know. Anyway, afterwards, after he got pissed off, he got his facial reaction after he got counted out and eliminated. He took his anger towards Goldust and Road Dogg Jesse James. In the end, Ryan Shamrock accidentally distract Goldust. I think not Shamrock, keep calling him Shamrock. My apologies. Road Dogg hit, I think he rolled up Goldust with a platinum roll up for the win. And yeah, Road Dogg retained the Intercontinental Championship. Blue Mini and Goldust going after Ryan Shamrock, yelling at her. And yeah, this was the end of, this was the beginning of the end of Ryan Shamrock's time in the World Wrestling Federation, because she ended up be part of the Pretty Mean Sisters with Terry and Jacqueline. And then Ryan, or Alicia Webb, that's her real name actually. Alicia ended up got released got released from the company in July of that year, and there's some speculation that Joni Lauer, China, pushed her out of the company because of some rumors China's bullying backstage. I don't want to get into that, but besides that, by the way, Road Dogg ended up dropping the IC title belt one day later to Goldust on Raw. So yeah, it was the only time that in the history of Road Dogg's time in the company, you never mention Road Dogg being he was a hardcore champion, he's a tag team champion with badass Billy Gunn, but you never see people not talking about him holding the IC title belt. It's the only title people not talking about in the history of Road Dogg's time with the company. So it's just what it is. I'm glad, Road Dogg was over. Billy and Road Dogg were kind of over in the show. They got good pops. But besides that, they had okay matches. I feel like a match you probably see on Raw, but not on your Big 5 pay-per-view at the time. You're spending a lot of money. Anyway, so move on to the next match. So the next match, we got China. China. Sorry, I miss read it again. So we got Kane versus Triple H with China in the corner of Kane. You had China turn on DX to align herself with the corporation. They're doing this storyline between China and Kane. The corporation threatened Kane to put Kane in a mental asylum. If they're not follow their orders. So they're doing this storyline revolve around Kane and China. The build up to this, you had Kane, he was supposed to hit Triple H with the fireball. Kane accidentally hit China with the fireball, and then Triple H disguised as Goldust, and shot him with a flamethrower. It didn't feel like a flamethrower. It looks like he's holding like a graffiti gun. You can shoot graffiti, but instead he shot Kane with the fireball, and that was it. So the match between Triple H and Kane, I watched it twice. I thought this was gonna be a good match, but it was an okay match. Went a bit long in my opinion. It was 11 minutes long. I thought it was like 15 minutes long, but it's only 11 minutes. It was a good match. It was starting to be, they're having an okay match. It was physical, using the steel steps. One more of the match. Kane trying to hit Triple H with the steel steps, but Triple H kicked the steel steps in the face of Kane. Anyway, I think Triple H was going for the pedigree, but Kane counted into a back body drop. He kind of back body dropped Triple H onto the floor. In the end, China came along. You thought going to help Kane win this match, but instead it was a swerve. The match ended as disqualification. I think China hit Kane with the chair, and then China and Triple H hit Kane with the same chair, and Triple H hit the pedigree onto Kane, onto that chair, and then you thought, China is now reunited with DX. It was a good feeling, to give that bit of a Savage Elizabeth moment, but we'll get to the next match later on this of the show and this review, but besides that, it was a okay match, I feel like, if they cut this a bit shorter, cut this match shorter, I think they accomplished something. But instead, it was just like it went a little bit long. I felt like it was a bit boring. But besides that, it was an okay match for what it is. I forgot to mention this. I'm going to explain right now. I forgot to mention this. In the Brawl for All, we got the final WWF appearance of Gorilla Monsoon. He was one of the judges in that Brawl for All match between Bart Gunn and Butterbean. And yeah, he was very close to death. He passed away in October of that year. Seeing Gorilla Monsoon, a shadow of his former self, he was slim. It's got nothing to do with losing weight, exercise. That's due to poor health. You tell he's very frail. He's very slim, and really sad. Or a shadow, a former, he's a former wrestler, one of the best. He's got to be one. People will know him for not as a wrestler, but one of the best commentators of all time. He's on the same par as Jim Ross, But it's just sad. This is his final appearance for the company. And also, you had this San Diego Chicken showing up. Why the San Diego Chicken is doing in Philadelphia. I think it's a basketball mascot. Yeah, this is a basketball arena, so this belonged to a basketball team. I can't remember what basketball team, but my apologies, man. I'm from England. I'm from England, by the way. So yeah. Yeah, this is he got knocked out by Finny Panazinia. Finny Panazinia. He was a professional boxer back in the day. He knocked the Chicken out, and then when Kane came when Kane about to enter the ring, he got attacked by the same San Diego Chicken, and it turns out to be Pete Rose under that costume. So yeah. And for the second year in a row, Kane attacked Pete Rose. I think he chokeslammed him and hit him with a tombstone power driver. Yeah, they made it into a gag, It started in WrestleMania 14, continuing in 15, and then the last one will be WrestleMania 16 of next year. I forgot to mention that, folks. Anyway, let's get back to the next match, and I'm trying to keep it short and simple, folks. So yeah, the next match, this is for the World Wrestling Federation Women's Championship. Sable defending the belt against Tori, not Tori as in Tori Wilson, Tori as in Terry Pooch, aka Terry Power, in the scene in New Japan. It started when Tori debuted in the company around late '98, start of 1999, as the fangirl of Sable, and then you had Sable at this moment in time as a heel, because the fame of Plague Boy get to her head, so she turned heel in the process and treating Tori like shit. So anyway, I listened to Tori's promo before I'm doing this video for the reviewing for this channel. She is wooden. Absolutely wooden. She is terrible on the mic. Sable's not good as well, but it's just it's called mic skills, folks. But anyway, so yeah, this match sucked. One of the worst match of the night. We'll get to another match later on. It was botching. It's a lot of botches. I'm trying to say. One more of the match. You had. Sable did a super she kind of mistimed her cross body onto Tori. I feel like the announcers brought she's unexperienced, even though Terry Pooch, she's been in the wrestling scene since the 80s. She wrestled in Japan. She fought against the Joshis. And they were doing botched roll ups. It was getting ugly. There was a referee bump. I think Sable Tori accidentally hit the referee. The referee is, was it Jimmy Corderas? Sable was going for the Sable bomb onto Tori, but instead Tori botched it. Both of them one of them botched it. It was a blocked Sable bomb attempt. Tori botched it. And then we got the debut of Nicole Bass. By the way, her first exposure to pro wrestling was in ECW the previous year. Because, by the way, this show's in ECW territory, and you got the straw hat guy attending the show. No mention of ECW at this moment in time because there were, in that certain time period in the 90s, there were working together, WWF and ECW, and then also I think they kind of part ways. Maybe there's one rumors like the part ways because they were copying stuff. What they did, the stuff with the Attitude at the time will, like, they copied the bits of ECW, but I'm not gonna talk about it in this video. So anyway, Nicole Bass came to the ring, attacked Tori. I think she kind of gorilla press her. And then Sable hit an okay Sable bomb onto Tori Wilson to win this match, to end the match, and that was it. Yeah, Here's my thing about Sable as a heel. Never going to work because people don't want to shit on Sable because Sable's a good looking woman. It's really sad because I watched covering a lot of Sable matches in 1998 in pay-per-views. WrestleMania 14, SummerSlam, King of the Survivor Series. They were they're like, you could tell. Like, I thought I was wrong about Sable. I'm not saying Sable's a ring general. I kind of like these matches. They're kind of like passable good matches. And then fast forward in '99, like in the strap match was okay, but this was terrible, man. Botches, Sable doing these crappy kicks. No one got over. Nicole Bass, man. I think her note for fame was she appeared on the Howard Stern show, and I think she was brought. Came to ACW. ECW fans shouted like, "You're a man." She was kind of brought in as a joke, really stereotype of female bodybuilders because of her muscles. They shouldn't be lifting weights, otherwise they turn to man. I don't want to get into that, but that really, they brought Nicole Bass. She's not good in the ring. She's kind of there. Sable, Sable won the belt at Survivor Series the previous year. Because at the time the women's division is weak compared right now, but Sable haven't got long left in the company. I think that same months later she ended up like leaving the company. She's threatened to sue the company. I think she got trying to sue the company. She got sexual harassed, but look it up, man. But let's move on to the next match. This was a bad match, and let's move on to the next match. And this is for the European Championship. Shane McMahon in his first, I think this is his first match on pay-per-view, defending the belt against X-Pac with Tess, his fellow corporation member, in his side. This was okay. I thought it was. I watched it again. I thought this is a bad match, but instead it was an okay match. But here's my nitpick about this. There was a lot of interference by Tess. Tess interfered a lot, and also we got the. I think this is the pay-per-view appearance debut of the Main Street Posse. That is Pete Gas, Rodney, and Willie Green. They're self-proclaimed Shane McMahon's real-life childhood best friends in Greenwich. Anyway, so yeah, they had one more of the match. You had they grabbed the whole of X-Pac, and X-Pac beat members of the Main Street Posse. There were a lot of interference, man. It really put me out. It wasn't a bad match. It was just like, it was okay. You thought on paper. Actually, you thought on paper this is going to be a passable good match. At the same time, this is Shane's first pay-per-view match. I think it's probably his first match as a wrestler. You thought like a really good worker like Sean Waltman, X-Pac, could carry him to a passable match. Unfortunately, that was all I was wrong. One more of the match, he did a good leapfrog and celebrate. That's kind of funny. But besides that, it was just a lot of interference by Tess. We got China and Triple H came to the rescue because China is now reunited with DX. She's no longer part of the corporation. But we got another swerve. Another swerve. We got Triple H. Triple H, came to the ring. I think there was a referee bump. I think there was a referee bump. I can't remember. Triple H hit X-Pac with the pedigree and turned on DX to align himself with the corporation. Shane won this match, pins him, retained the European title, and afterwards, Test and Triple H attack not just with X-Pac but with the Outlaws. They kept trying to came to the rescue. Unfortunately, they got beaten down by the corporation. Out comes Kane. Kane trying to come to the rescue, trying to chase out members of the corporation like Shane and Taz and Triple H in China. And this was the beginning of the storyline between Kane and X-Pac. That's another story for another time. Triple H turned heel. It's basically he said. I'll get to that shortly before we get to the next match. So, on the DX and not DX, on the X and the Outlaws X-Pac side, this years later said like they don't want Triple H to turn heel. They don't want to see Triple H leaving DX because this version of DX was only 1 year old because it was rebuilt ever since Shawn Michaels retired due to his back injury after WrestleMania 14. Triple H reformed DX. Bringing the Outlaws and X-Pac in the group. They said like they think they got more. They can still have more mileage in that group. I'll get to that shortly. But on Triple H's side, he said he wants to get away from DX. He wants to become a true main eventer. He wants to be on the same par of Austin. This Hilton of Triple H. It kicked Triple H on into that main event scene later on in the year and beyond. And beyond, he ended up like being the top guy for years, and also right now he's now running the company. I understand why, like they want to, because they thought that they're not going to get more money, if like after this, but this version of DX will never be the same again because they end up reuniting again years later. Well, what was it in 1999, 2000? The reformed DX 2000, as heels. That was a bad decision, but this version of DX will never be the same again. Like after that, DX was like on its last legs, because Triple H is in the corporation. It's kind of be it's like pushed into that main event scene. You got Billy Gunn months later will be in that. You'll get that kind of a push, winning the '99 King of the Ring tournament and went on to feud with The Rock. You could tell DX was on its last legs, and then until they got reformed as a heel group. But it's just what it is, man. I think like the heel turn is more memorable with this. But besides that, I wish I could, it's not saying it was a bad match anyway. It's starting to be like an okay match, but like my only nitpick about it, it's just, it was just Test, interfered too much. But it's just what it is. I want, because they're trying to put the eggs in the Test basket. They end up doing this storyline with Stephanie later on in the year, but that's another story another time. Unfortunately, that push never meant to be for Test. It's just sad. He just like passed away in 2009. A decade later, they're seeing something with Test. They're trying to push him, trying to build him up. So it's just what it is. Anyway, let's move on to the next match, folks. And moving on to holy fuck, we got the Hell in the Cell match. Holy fuck, Hell in the Cell. The Undertaker with Paul Bearer in the corner, taking on the Big Boss Man. For me, I'm gonna call it Heck in the Sack. This is not revolve around Undertaker Boss Man. This is revolve around Undertaker and Fitz. This is this rivalry between the corporation and the Ministry of Darkness. So Undertaker formed the Ministry of Darkness at the start of the year. He ended up changing his look. He ended up having this devil style beard. The build up to this, this is before the whole High Power storyline. This is before they did that storyline. That's another story, another time. I don't want to talk about it. So anyway, this storyline is confusing because you had Undertaker, targeting and intimidating Vince, because it's very weird at this moment in time because Vince is feuding with he's facing two storylines at this moment in time. Like one storyline with Vince, he's still feuding with Stone Cold Steve Austin, and now all of a sudden now he's now feuding with, now he's got the Undertaker on his back, he's the top heel Vince, and all of a sudden he's acting like a babyface, this is a heel versus heel match, this is a heel versus heel thing, this was before, you had Taker's friend who kidnapped Stephanie, setting fire to a teddy bear. This was a inferno match between Undertaker and Kane. You had the Ministry showing up to Vince's house. You got the crucifix. Undertaker's symbol, burning on Vince's yard. Vince's house. That is just like, wow. They're trying to push this whole Undertaker's Ministry of Darkness gimmick. Is he's this They try to push this Christianity side, and it's just like, really. It's just like, it's one of these things you don't want to talk about. I don't want to get. I don't want to talk about. It's just one of these topics you don't want to discuss. Don't get me wrong. The presentation was good. With the devil beard. They're trying to push this true evil side of the Undertaker, but instead it's confusing. Because Vince is feuding with Austin, we have to, and all of a sudden we have to give him sympathy because Undertaker is intimidating him. And also in the build up to this, you had Undertaker disguised as Kane, while the Ministry's outside of Vince's house. It's very confusing. So this match, wow. This is considered to be the worst Hell in a Cell match of all time. People talk about Seth Rollins versus The Fiend, Hell in a Cell 2019, but this is the worst of all time, man. This is not necessary to be a Hell in a Cell match. It's just it's not. I'm trying to keep it short and simple. Boring. It was just punch, 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 punch. Did I mention punch, punch, punch? There was a botched moment, you had Boss Man, handcuff the Undertaker onto the cell wall, and then hitting the Undertaker with the nightstick in the stomach area, in his head, take a bleed. And then while he hit Undertaker on the head with the nightstick, the handcuff broke while Undertaker fall. And no one gives a shit about that. They didn't really care. Bossman was bleeding. In the end, I'm trying to keep it short, simple, folks. In the end, Undertaker, hit Bossman with the Tombstone Power Driver, and that was it. So we'll get to the crescendo of this shit match soon. And also, he came out. The lot is on the network I'm watching. This 1999 Ministry of Darkness Undertaker theme. I've been in DVDs, and also of this show and other Undertaker DVDs of this run as the Undertaker as the part of the Ministry of Darkness. They kind of changed it into that they kind of changed it into that 1998 theme of the Undertaker. I really like the lyrics of the 1999 theme. It's accept the Lord of Darkness as your savior. I understand why they did that, because a lot of people get offended because it's just you don't want to do this, it's this, and also Man versus God, it's one of these things you don't want to do this because you end up pissing off the wrong people, you end up barking up the wrong tree. Let's get to the end, actually. So in the end, you had the Brood, Edge, Christian, Gangrel of the Ministry of Darkness. They came down the rafters, they ripped a hole in the cell wall, and they they dropped down a noose, and Undertaker grabbed the noose, wrapped it around Bossman's neck. Paul Bearer kind of lift the cell structure. Undertaker, hanged the big Bossman. And when I saw this years ago, and right now, not at the time in '99, but this is a decade ago. I got a copy. I think I got a copy of the Undertaker streak on DVD somewhere in my house. But I am fucking livid why they tend to do that. We're 2 months away of Owen Hart's death. Wow. Who come up with that idea? Vince Russo. Vince Russo. Vince Russo. It's stupid. It's really sad. In the last 2 years, you had two greatest Hell in a Cell matches of all time. Undertaker, Shawn Michaels at Bad Blood 97, and Undertaker Mankind in King of the Ring 1998, and then fast forward 1 year later, we got one of the worst Hell in a Cell matches of all time. No one cares. I think Boss Man, it's still a continuation of this rivalry between the Ministry of Darkness and the Corporation. This is leading up to introduce Stephanie McMahon as an on-screen character, but this is just like, how they got away from this, man. It's just like, and Michael Cole, like, saying, like, oh, is it symbolic? Motherfucker, Bossman's getting hanged. What the hell? Like, it's just like, it's the worst Hell in a Cell match of all time. They should have done a squash match or a no DQ match to probably accomplish something. But this has not accomplished anything. No one got over. It's just like, waste of time. 9 minutes, man. I was completely bored. Yeah. It's just like, wow. Like, seeing Bossman getting hanged, that I'm fucking livid. Like, it's funny, like, how the fuck the fans not chanting "Fire Russo"? TNA did that chant years later, "Fire Russo" because of his booking decisions. This is just like, how the fuck is the police? Where are the police? I get it's wrestling scripted, It's okay to hurt someone in the ring, but these type of things, like, I get they're trying to show the darkest side of the Undertaker, like seeing like trying to bond Steve Austin in the morgue and this shit with the hanger of the Big Boss Man. That has got to be one of the worst moments in wrestling history, man. It's just like, it's how people will defend this. You can't defend this, man. It's just like appalling. It's polarizing. I think, no respect to the Undertaker, man. I think his version of it, this version in 1999, he's a polarizing character in that time period. It's the worst version of his character. I don't mind his like 90s Deadman character. I don't mind the biker run and his return as the Deadman run, but this run in 99 is the worst, man. If you like it, more power to you. For me, it's just like, holy shit, man. It's just like, it goes too far. And the stuff with the Boss Man getting hanged, that is so tasteless. And the most tasteless after that, after they're showing like Boss Man properly dead. It's really sad he just passed. It's really sad he passed away years later after this. 5 years later, I think, or 7 years after. It's somewhere years later after. I'm trying to say, after he's seeing like Boss Man lifeless body got hanged on the news, and they cut to the WrestleMania Rage Party. I see some clips of it. That looks good. It was a concert. You got like Big Pun. You got Isaac Hells. The guy who voiced Chef from South Park attending the show. He sung Chocolate Salty Balls. I think we're months away before South Park, the bigger, longer uncut film. I will review that film because we're close to the 25th anniversary of that film. That's later on of this year. So anyway, let's move on to the main event. The Rock, the corporate champ, defended the World Wrestling Federation Championship against Stone Cold Steve Austin. This is a no DQ match. I think it was added at the last minute. It was supposed to be Mankind be the special guest referee, but instead, I'll get to that Mankind part a bit later. And also, the corporation is banned from ringside. So, it started in January. So January, The Rock helped of Mr. McMahon winning the 1999 Royal Rumble match. And then Austin won the WrestleMania 15 championship opportunity at St. Valentine's Day Massacre in the Steel Cage match by the help of Paul White. That was Paul White's first appearance in the company. So, yeah, this is revolved around who is the special guest referee. And then they had this match on the show, Mankind Big Show. I just review it. I don't want to review it again. So anyway, before this, you had Mankind is self-proclaimed in the hospital after he got attacked by the Big Show. Vince came out wearing the black suit. It was a black sleeveless shirt, black trousers. He kind of like now he's like, you thought Mankind's a special guest referee. Now he's the special guest referee, and then out comes Shawn Michaels. You know, he's at this moment in time, he is the special guest. He is the commissioner of the company at the time, because it's been 1 year since, you know, his final match of his first run in the company against Stone Cold Steve Austin at WrestleMania 14 the previous year. He kind of told Vince the only person appointed as special guest referee is the commissioner. It's funny that it's like Vince is the owner of the company. He's got some power. But anyway, Vince is left to the back, you know. This is leading up to, like, Vince firing Shawn. I think this is the way to write him off as a full-time character, you know. You know, Shawn hit Vince with a switch in music. That was probably in a certain time period, so... And also, I done more research on this, you know. Shawn Michaels, his idea wants to have Mick Foley to be in this match instead of The Rock, because at the time, The Rock and Shawn Michaels really hate each other. You know, it's a shame we never got a Rock and Shawn Michaels match. But anyway, Rock came out. I think it's his first pay-per-view match wearing his trunks. You know, because in the last 2 or 3 pay-per-view appearances, you know, he's wearing like wrestling with his street clothes. I think he had a problem with his breast. You know, I don't want to get into it. So Rock was like right now he's like jacked right now because of the movies, but back then he's a bit bulky. In the start in the 2000s, you know, 2000, 2001, 2002 period, he's a bit bang average. He kind of slimmed down, but back, you know, in the 90s, you can tell that The Rock he was in good shape in this match, you know. Anyway, so Austin came out wearing a T-shirt. In Legends, that he forgot to wear his his skull leather vest, but instead he forgot to bring that, so he's wearing a T-shirt. It's one of his T-shirts, you know. He had his arms like disguised as snakes. That was cool. This match is technically the match of the night. It's a breath of fresh air. It was the whole bulk of the match was a brawl. It was like Rock and Austin brawling. That was it. They were fighting. I think they were brawling about. I don't know. So I think it's for the whole match, man. Like about it was 16 minutes. I think it's about this match was about 16 minutes, but I think it's about 10 minutes. Not 10 minutes, but about 7-8 minutes, man. I kind of like it. They were brawling in the crowd. I think one more of the match, Rock back body drop Austin onto the lights. And Austin was holding his knee. I thought, like, oh my god, I think it blowed out his knee. The Austin Irish whip Rock onto the WrestleMania 15 logo. Like he did like a back body drop onto the announce table onto the Rock, you know. Because I think it fits Austin's character at the time, because you're never gonna see you're never going to see Austin becoming the ringmaster, the moveset of Dean Malenko / Ricky Steamboat, or ever again, because after his injury in 1997. But I think the Braun helped it, man. I really like it, you know. Fighting in the crowd, you know. So yeah, but I think it's the weakest out of their WrestleMania trilogy. Like the reason why I say it's the weakest, there were a lot of interference, man. I think Austin kicked out the Rock Bottom. I think that was the first time that one person managed to kick out of the Rock's Rock Bottom. The Rock's you could say first finisher. He has 2: the Rock Bottom and the People's Elbow. I think Austin hit Rock with the first Stone Cold Stunner of the match, you know. But the reason why I say it's weaker in the match of the trilogy, because it was way overbooked, man. There were a lot of referee bumps, you know. Like one more of the match, you know, Austin hit I think it was Mike Chioda. You know, the Rock push kind of holding on to Mike Chioda, and Austin hit Chioda in the head with the chair. And then I think Rock hit Austin with the Samoan drop. It was a near fall. Austin kicked out of the counter 2, and then the Rock hit Team White with the Rock Bottom. and then out comes Vince McMahon wearing his street clothes, you know. Yeah, right. Like The Rock, before that, Vince wearing that before the start of the match, like he looks out of shape, man. You know, it looks flat, you know. Not on the same level when he was fighting Pat McAfee in WrestleMania 38, but he looks out of shape. You know, he looks like he's a bit flat, you know. Compared in later years, he ended up becoming super jacked. You know, his best body part is his chest. You know, he's got that Arnold Schwarzenegger chest. Anyway, so yeah, Vince came out, Rock and Vince kind of teaming up against Austin. You know, doing the kick, doing the kicks. You know, kicking Austin in the corner. Out comes Mick Foley. You know, he's came back. You know, after he got attacked, before he's in the hospital after his match against the Big Show. I think he attacked Vince. You know, you thought he was going to help Austin because Austin and Foley had history because they were tag team champions when Foley was Dude Love. Anyway, so, you know, in the end, you know, I think Austin was going for the stunner, but Rock countered it. He gave Austin the middle finger. No, I think it's before that. I'm trying to remember the folks. Rock was going for the people's elbow. Or the corporate elbow, because he's a heel at the time. He was going for the corporate elbow. Austin got out of the way. He tried to hit Rock with a stunner, but Rock countered it. Give Austin the middle finger. He's trying to hit him with another Rock bottom, but Austin countered it. You know, hit Rock with the second Stone Cold Stunner to win this match and regain the WWE title. So. You know, and also we had Jim Ross, you know, coming back. I forgot to mention this. Jim Ross came back, you know, they did, you know, he came back, you know, for this match. You know, I've heard this sorry, I'm stumbling, by the way. There's rumors that Austin refused to do this match if Jim Ross won't call this match, you know. They did a storyline, you know, this is his first match back because he took some time off because he suffered like bouts of Bell's palsy. That was a mistake coming back. He looks worse, man. But they did a storyline of JR, you know, being a heel, you know, attacking Michael Cole. He was hanging around with Dr. Death Steve Williams, you know. He had this, the funny part, he had his belt announce death and speaking over Michael Cole and Jerry the King Lawler, you know. Having JR calling this main event match was the right call. Michael Cole brought this down. No respect for Michael Cole. I think but like I don't mind him when he's on a commentator with Taz on SmackDown in the Ruthless Aggression era. Yeah, he was you know in the early days of SmackDown. But for him, like I understand why he's doing this. He's filling in for JR. You know, he was a ring interviewer in his early days in the company, and then he's now a commentator. But he's not strong enough. He doesn't have a strong enough force to be a true play-by-play guy. You know, he's not a wrestling commentator. You know, he's just a guy as a salesman. He's a salesman. A guy just be a salesman. You know, like Michael Cole is no Jim Ross. You know, he's no Tony Schiavone. He's no Mauro Ranallo? Sorry, I'm trying to pronounce his name properly. He's no Mike Tenay, man, or Gorilla Monsoon, or Jesse Body Ventura, man. He's just like, you know, he's just kind of there, you know. Bringing JR back for this main event was the right call, you know. It's like, Austin wins, you know. It's not on the same level as Stone Cold, you know. But, he kind of helped it, you know. But afterwards, you had Vince, you know, upset, you know, seeing Austin reclaim his perch. You know, he's reclaimed the championship. You know, afterwards, you kind of had this confrontation between Austin and Vince. You know, Vince yelled at him like, "That's not that." He shouted, "That's not your belt. It's my belt." You know, and he had Austin attacking Vince, and then he brought him back in the ring, hits Vince with the stunner, and that was it. I think he hit Vince in the head with a chair in the final few moments of the match, but you know, the raging climax, man. that's a little bullshit, man, because Fitz and Austin will like end their rivalry at Fully Loaded in July. You know, I reviewed that show 4 years ago. Go and check it out. But yeah, if they end this on this show, the Austin McMahon thing, that'll be a good way to, a appropriate way to end the rivalry. But they continue this rivalry in the summertime. Like, Austin went on to hold the belt for 2 months until dropping it to The Undertaker. I think it was at Over the Edge, and then regain it a few weeks later, and then hold that belt until SummerSlam of 1999. You know, Austin will never get a lengthy run as the WWF champion until 2001 when he was a heel. Like, out of the 3 Rock Austin WrestleMania trilogy matches, this is the weakest. You know, number 1 has to be Rock Austin 2 WrestleMania 17. Despite of the heel turn by Austin, that was really good. Second place, you know, Rock Austin 3 WrestleMania 19. That was basically Austin's swan song as a full-time wrestler, and this one takes the bronze medal. But yeah, besides that, it was a really good main event, a good main event to end this show. They had a rematch at Backlash the following month, and then Rock get kicked out of the corporation. That kicked off Rock's second run as the babyface, you know, or full-time run as a babyface until he turned heel once again in 2003. So yeah, Austin win was the right call, you know. So my overall rating of WrestleMania 15 is a 4.5 out of 10. This is a one-match show. That is Rock and Austin. That's it. The only thing I also point in the good is Triple H's heel turn. That was really the only portion I point in the good, because that led to Triple H launch into that main event scene. But besides that, you know, this is a glorified Monday Night Raw on a Sunday night. The Hardcore, the European title, and the Four Corners elimination match, and Triple H Kane itself were just kind of there. There were a lot of shit, man. Like too much interference. It was at the time in the Attitude Era, a lot of run-ins and swerves, you know. But there were a lot of crap, man. Like the women's title match, the Heck in the Sack, Big Show, Mankind. Yeah, like, you're not gonna get a good WrestleMania for the next 2 WrestleManias, 15 and 16, until WrestleMania 17 in this period of the Attitude Era in 2001. But yeah, like, I advise watching Rock and Austin, and that's it. You know, I advise not to watch WrestleMania 15. I give it a skip, man. You know, I get it's the Attitude Era, they're getting away from murder. It's more focused on the storylines and the character development, but you're not going to get a really good WrestleMania of the in-ring quality, you know. You have to wait until WrestleMania 17 in 2001. So, what is your thoughts on WrestleMania 15? Do you like the show? Do you hate the show? Are you not bothered about the show? Please, write down your thoughts on the show in the comment section below. Smash the like button, click the like, click the bell, subscribe to the Central Man Network on YouTube, be part of the Central Unit for more wrestling videos and more. Next time, I'm going to review one more classic WrestleMania to close out the WrestleMania season of 2024. I think I'm going to do a voting poll. Your choices are, the first choice is WrestleMania 30. That's Daniel Bryan overcoming the Authority, and also the streak of The Undertaker dies of that WrestleMania. Options 2 and 3, Manias 25 and 26. That's the Undertaker Shawn Michaels WrestleMania. Option number 4, WrestleMania 23 at 4 Fields. The Battle of the Billionaires, the Donald Trump WrestleMania. And I think I could review a WrestleMania in the modern era. I could review, I don't know, from a couple of years back, from 2017. That is WrestleMania 33 in Orlando, Florida. Those are the options. Until then, this is the Central Man officially signing out. Check you later, folks.